Hey guys, Posey here. Before this video starts, I do have to mention that there will be some channel updates and announcements at the end. If you are a dedicated animation winner, I strongly recommend you stick around throughout this entire video. Thank you, and that aside, let's get right into this.
We are at war.
Spoiler warning.
Independence.
This is a good shot to start the animatic with. You do get to see the characters in the background as Wilbur begins speaking, but it's not close up just yet, meaning the shot is teasing their appearance. Not to mention, the screen has room to show you the scenery and the environment in the foreground. All in all, an effective use of shot composition.
Or death.
As Wilbur says, or death, Sadist mimics depth of field by darkening the characters and brightening the scenery, allowing you to shift your focus to them. Nice. Also, despite the characters being far away and simplified in this shot, you can still tell who some of them are if you're a fan of the Dream SMP. For instance, Dream is recognizable because of his hoodie and mask, Fundy is recognizable because of his fox ears, and Wilbur is recognizable by his hat. I'll add 3 wins for all 3 characters who can be distinguished from a distance based on these features.
If we get no revolution, then we want nothing.
Now that we have a close-up of the Lomamberg revolutionaries, we can see that they're very well drawn. I like the subtle movements of the pupils with Tommy, Tubbo, and Fundy. At the beginning of the shot, it seems like at first they're looking at Wilbur, as if uncertain or uneasy about the confrontation. However, they turn their attention back to Dream and his comrades once Wilbur has cemented his position.
We would rather die than give in to you and join your SMP.
Even though you can't see his expression because of his mask, you can tell Dream gets angrier because of the way he looks downward, and the way the black lines seem to increase on said mask.
Look, George.
This shot is extremely pretty. Just take a look at the way it's drawn and colored, and also take note of its excellent composition. Incredible. 5 wins for that alone.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
The sunlight shines around George's hand as he blocks the sun with it.
King's time as a ruler rises and falls like the sun.
It was a good idea to keep Dream's face in partial view for the time being, since it allows his full appearance to have more of an impact once he shows up in his entirety towards the end.
One day, George, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
I was debating removing a win for the fact that Dream's voice is really bland here, but ultimately I decided doing so would be unfair, as this was far out of Sadist's control. That said, I'd still like to use this moment to provide some insight. Dream SMP animatics are generally really well done, but the one gripe I have is that sometimes the animators are forced to use voice lines that don't really sound good. At the end of the day, the Dream SMP YouTubers aren't professional voice actors, so it's inevitable, and I can blame neither they nor the animators for that. Of course, as a general rule, Sadist and most of the others do a good job of incorporating voice lines that do sound good. In fact, the integration is one of my favorite parts of these animatics. Anyhow, I've been rambling on a bit too long, so I may as well find something to win and move on. The pause in Dream's voice line built anticipation on what he was gonna say. There, I did it.
Do I shoot him, Will, or do I aim to the skies?
Tommy, I want you to do whatever your heart says you should do.
Tommy and Wilbur's voices actually sound quite natural in this part, and fit incredibly with the music in the background. I really like the transitions here. It's nothing too special, but for Sadist's first Dream SMP animatic, it's pretty impressive. Tubbo trying to calm down and restrain Tommy is a nice detail that adds to the scene. I especially like his facial expression, which clearly shows his distress with the whole situation. Also, this is definitely an emotion-inducing moment, particularly for those who know the Dream SMP and were aware of Eric's betrayal. Also, Tommy's animation and expressions do a good job of displaying just how angry he is. These underwater shots look awesome, especially with these bubble effects. I'll go ahead and add 5 more wins for that. Also, the screen fades to black in rhythm with the beat of the music.
1, 2, 3, 4.
These few shots in quick succession do well to establish the sense of urgency in the viewer. Not to mention, the shot cuts and the numbers counted are also in rhythm with the beat of the music. 1 win for each.
5, 6, 7, 8.
The way the characters move in this next group of shots is really appealing to look at. Also, Dream is gripping his mask, which could be interpreted as him being uneasy about this battle and possibly the war as a whole. What a nice arrow animation, complete with movement lines.
Tommy, calm.
This scene, along with the music, is perfectly constructed to give off a sense of chaos and disorder, with frequent shot cuts, rapid animation, and of course, Tommy's incredibly angry voice. Okay, I have no words to describe how awesome this sequence was. Just take the wins. Sadist really knows how to portray Dream as a scheming marionette player, which fits his role in the story of the SMP. I absolutely love the coloring in this shot.
Eric, listen to me, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. You fucked up.
Tommy's voice line is perfectly in sync with the resurgent beat of the music. Also, a whole lot of effort was put into this shot specifically, what with the lip sync and all, so I'm gonna add 5 wins for that alone. Also, once again, the emotions in this scene. If you're a fan of the Dream SMP, chances are you can feel what these characters are feeling. Nice explosion effect. The way the shot zooms from Dream's gang to the L'Manberg revolutionaries. Sapnap purling to Tubbo and swiping with his sword has got to be one of my favorite parts of the entire animatic. It was executed perfectly and still has me at the edge of my seat to this day. Also, you can see Tommy's terrified expression in the next shot as Tubbo is holding back Sapnap. This makes sense because at this point in the story, Tommy and Tubbo were best of friends, and obviously the former is concerned for the latter's safety.
We are at war.
The way Sadist creates an illusion of camera movement following the arrow Dream fires from his crossbow. Yeah! Perfectly timed shout.
And we have no mercy!
Sapnap is absolutely terrifying in this shot. Really makes you forget how in actuality, he's just a Minecraft YouTuber. Also, the rapid flashes of black as Dream says, "No mercy," really add to the dramatic factor here.
No mercy for you!
Again, showing Dream without completely showing Dream. I absolutely love how Sadist incorporates zooming effects in this sequence. There were 2 here, so I'll add 2 wins. Also, it's neat how Eric's hand is shown hovering over the button before we actually see him in his entirety. It then allows him to enter the frame in a nice, smooth motion.
It was never meant to be.
Eric's line is very powerful and meaningful to the Dream SMP, but that's not the win here. The win here is that his glowing white eye serves as the basis for the transition to the next shot, which I feel is very clever. Once again, Sadist expertly displays chaos with all these rapid shots. She really understands editing and composition.
Any last words?
Ah, nice. Appropriately sized sliver of humor to break up the tension of this dramatic sequence. Nice cameo from the discs that serve as essentially the catalyst for the story of Dream SMP Season 1 and 2.
We've lost so much.
Wilbur legitimately sounds upset while saying this line. The way Dream and Tommy are shown facing each other is a neat way of establishing that these 2 characters are opposing, contrasting forces in the story.
White flag! White flags outside your base by tomorrow at dawn, or you are dead!
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This line from Dream is amazing, and the tone of his voice is actually pretty dramatic this time. That was a nice transition from the text to the black screen. Also, allow me to add 25 wins for that entire ending sequence, because that was just a whole lot of awesomeness. In conclusion, this animatic, while certainly paling in comparison to Sadist's later works, is still really well made and a staple of history for the Minecraft community. Before I continue though, let me address the elephant in the room. I do not care for Dream, but regardless of my opinion on Dream himself, I can't deny that there is incredible talent in his fanbase, which is displayed very clearly by the different Dream SMP animations on YouTube. All sorts of incredible artists have created masterful adaptations of the Dream SMP story with their immense skill, and to me, it seems like Sadist was the one who kickstarted it all, with this animatic in particular. For that alone, I'll assign 50 more wins for the fact that she at least partially provoked an entire genre of creativity in the community. Moving on to the animatic itself, there's a lot that can be said about how well made it is. The characters are drawn and designed excellently and are easily recognizable to fans of the Dream SMP. The motions of the characters are appealing despite the fact that this isn't even a full-fledged animation. The composition of shots is downright excellent, and dramatic sequences are masterfully edited and structured to highlight the true scale of chaos and drama in the story. In addition, the Warriors remix by Two Way was an excellent song choice for the background music and was integrated in a way where it perfectly aligned with the animatic. Not to mention, voice lines from the Dream SMP YouTubers were also well integrated, even though not all of them had a ton of emotion, which was something Sadist couldn't have done much about anyway. Lastly, the Animatic is perfectly faithful to the story of the Dream SMP, while still using its artistry to amplify the events and perhaps attract more casual viewers. This is exactly how an animatic about a popular series should be. So, all in all, Sadist's Dream SMP War is an amazing staple of the Dream community, and has paved the way for countless other creators to express their talent by similar means. Of course, Sadist has continued to create Dream SMP animations ever since, which progressively get better and better. If this video does well, I will absolutely consider winning the others as well. With that said, however, that's it for the conclusion, so let's determine the win total. Oh wait, just one more thing. Apparently, Dream SMP War was uploaded on Dream's birthday, so that's a win for Wholesome, I guess. Alright, now let's determine the win total. Now, onto the channel updates. First and foremost, I'd like to remind everyone that the deadline for our animation collab is approaching rapidly. You have only until November 25 to submit, which is 11 days away from the time I'm recording, perhaps even less by the time this video goes up. Unfortunately, I really underestimated just how few people would actually see and react to the collab announcement. So far, I've only received a single submission, and it was an animation that was already made months ago and not specifically for this collab, so I had to disqualify it. If any of you are still interested in participating, please do submit before the deadline. I don't want anyone to rush, but if I can't get any submissions by that point, I'll have to cancel the collab entirely, and I really hope it doesn't come to that. Next, a progress report on where the channel is headed. Thoughts and I are still organizing everything, and we're working towards expanding the Animation Wins team. A few people have already been considered, although until official arrangements are made, I will not announce who they are publicly. We still have not decided on a consistent schedule for uploads yet, but now that we're starting to create content again, we'll most likely use a similar schedule to what Huiyin used before, which involves Friday uploads, hopefully once every 2 weeks, but perhaps with some small breaks, since I will be busy with school during my next quadmester. After this video, I intend to resume work on EGA Worlds Apart, and on that topic, big shout out to Samuel Kyber, the animator of Worlds Apart, who reached out to us and showed his support with a comment. It was well appreciated. Of course, if this video does well, I will likely win the rest of Sadist's animatics. If not, I'll focus on other things and maybe come back to them later. For now, the team doesn't have a full-on plan for what will happen, and we're still working on it. We appreciate your patience. Also, before this video ends, I just want to say that I am so thankful for the unconditional support you've shown us in our efforts to rebuild the channel. It's thanks to you guys that I'm here today doing this, and I don't think I'll ever know how to repay you. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. With that out of the way, however, I'll see you all next time, and goodbye.